Brother Kosh Qual coming back at you in another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Akakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone, to rule and teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. It's going to be another quick update, dealing with things going around in the world. Also, just being in the spirit of prophecy and being in the spirit of keeping up with what's going on. All right, so as you can see on my screen, I have Iran nuclear talks reach a critical juncture. Okay, so these talks have been going on ever since the 2015 nuclear deal, which I'm gonna touch base a little bit on that nuclear deal, but the United States, Iran, and European nations have been negotiating these talks for a while now. Okay, for a little while now. All right, so matter of fact, I'm gonna get this word juncture, which it simply means pretty much a particular point in events. Let me just get a base understanding of that word juncture. Okay, so a particular point in events or time says a place where things join. All right. And in this case, it kind of seems like they're using this word juncture in a state in a sense of, they have the word critical there, critical juncture. They're at a point, a critical, pivotal point in this negotiation process. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. It says the lack of progress. So that's what they mean by a critical juncture. They're not gaining progress at this point. So the lack of progress in resumed Iran nuclear talks show that the potential for negotiations collapsing without a deal is steadily increasing under Tehran's more hardline president. It says U.S., Iranian, and European negotiators met in Vienna on December 9th for what was their 8th round of nuclear talks. It's the 8th round of nuclear talks, and they're not getting shit where. Prime example is because, really the 2015 nuclear deal was trying to get them to halt their production of nuclear progress. But when President Trump was in office, he backed out of that because he didn't see any point of being in there. Which, I'll tell you, man, it's just a part of prophecy. So this is Joel. You already know where I'm going with this. It says Joel chapter 3, I'm going to start at 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Everywhere across the earth, these countries are dumping money into their military systems. They're taking out of agricultural, educational, scientifical, programs to dump it into military, okay? Because war is looming. Whether you like it or not, it's happening. War is about to happen. It says, let the weak say, I am strong. See? So that's what Iran is saying. They really disregarded the 2015 nuclear deal. I'm going to keep reading here because I keep mentioning that. It says the 8th round of nuclear talks this year and the 2nd round since Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, if that's how you say it, took office in August. Yeah, I think this is him. No, I think this is one of the nuclear negotiators right here that are having talks in there. But that's not the president of Iran. It says the 7th round of negotiations to restore the 2015 deal. So I have that up right here just to get some understanding what the 2015 Iran nuclear deal was. And just as a quick synopsis or summary of what it was. It says signed in 2015 by Iran and several world powers, including the United States. The JCPOA, all right, which the JCPOA, let me see if it has what it stands for. Let's see. Salakia. If it's not there, it's okay. Y'all can look it up. It says JCPOA placed significant restrictions on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. Right, because sanctions were just being slapped on Iran back during that time in 2015, and Iran wanted that shit off. Simple. So they was like, okay, we'll just sign this dumbass deal to get them sanctions off, which some of them sanctions were relieved, but Iran still said a big middle finger to all of y'all and continued their, production of, I think uranium, if I'm not mistaken, to produce these nuclear weapons. They just said, really, fuck that. I just need these sanctions off of me. So President Trump withdrew the United States from the deal in 2018, like I mentioned earlier, claiming it failed to curtail Iran's missile program and regional influence. Right, it did fail because the prophecies say, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Regardless of what sanctions, what deals come, these countries are still going to produce weapons at an exponential rate because they're preparing for war that they see, in the horizon. It says Iran began ignoring limitations, correct, and rightfully so because prophecies say so, on its nuclear program a year later. Right. So going back here, it says what? The seventh round of negotiations to restore the 2015 deal, known as Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. That's what the JCPOA means. I should have just read that. Concluded last week with Iran submitting draft demands adjusting what it agreed to during the previous 6 rounds of 2021 talks, meaning they said, screw all those other talks. This is what I really want. And that's why they're at this junction in a lack of progress. Because Iran is pretty much saying, screw whatever deal you have. I'm going to continue doing this nuclear mission. And, Iran is a part of the BRICS nations. And they're in alliance with Russia. So Russia wants to continue this. Wants Iran to continue this as well. They continue making missiles as Russia continues making missile defense systems for these countries. Simple. Okay? So I'm going to get the final precept and close it out here. Isaiah 54. And these are classic precepts, man. All right. Let's see. I've created the smith. There we go. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So a blacksmith is someone, let's get it real quick. What is a blacksmith? A blacksmith is a metal. Oh golly, man, close. Is a metalsmith, which a metalsmith or simply a smith is a craftsperson fashioning useful items of various metals, who creates objects primarily from wrought iron or steel, but sometimes other metals by forging the metal using tools to hammer, bend, and cut. Blacksmiths produce such as gates, grills, railings, light fixtures, furniture, sculptures, tools, agriculture implements, decorative and religious items, cooking utensils, and weapons. God dang, man. They wanted to say weapons first because that's the main reasons blacksmiths are there. As you can see, the picture is showing him making a dagger or a sword right there. All right, simple. So that's what the scripture right here is talking about. It's a smith, but in this case, on a bigger scale, these nations have their blacksmiths making these weapons. So, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And as you can see right there, let me zoom in. That piece of metal is hot right there because he just got out the fire so he could shape it into what he wants. All right. So it says, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. For whose work? The Heavenly Father's. And the instrument that he brought forth is what? Continuing, it says, and I have created the waster to destroy, which is the nuclear weapons. All right. The warheads. Okay. That's the instrument of work, of his work. All right. So the Lord puts this imagination, this idea in these heathens' mind, and he makes them create these things for his work. and which is the waster to destroy, which are the nuclear missiles. So that's why these plans are in a critical juncture and getting no progress, because Iran is going to continue to make these nuclear weapons. Okay? War is about to take place, and it's going to take place. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay? Nuclear missiles will be shot off. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Okay? These things will happen according to the scriptures. They're just being made at an exponential rate. That's why there's no deals coming to pass. All right. I mean, Trump was like already privy to that. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop the Iranians to make these weapons. So I'm backing out of the deal. There's no point of talking. All right. Trump backed out of the deal and dumped money into the military system because he know war is looming and he wanted to protect America. They had to get Trump out of the office, man. you know. But with that being said, Lord willing, this is edifying. Just some updating news. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders until the next time, Brother Kashakwala. Shalom.